Nachtrab. The box. The box.
The door was always kept closed. Curiosity overtook the visitor, and he opened it. Upon seeing the contents of the spare bedroom in my home, my son's friend Stephen exclaimed, "Wow! In our house, we just have a junk drawer. You have a junk room!" Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and future Toastmasters, my children had more lovingly named it the sharing room. And it was there that I first learned the value of thinking inside the box. The sharing room was where everyone in the family put things we didn't know where else to put. But Stephen's description was accurate, and we decided to dedicate the upcoming Saturday to clearing out the sharing room. My wife Peggy started on the project. I checked in an hour later. "How's it going, oh reducer of refuse?" To my dismay, the trash bag next to her was nearly empty. "Oh, what have you been doing for the last hour?" She looked up at me, misty-eyed. Reliving memories. Memories? Today is about clearing clutter, not about reliving remembrances. It was obvious. What was needed here was someone more objective, more decisive, less emotional. "Peggy, this project requires a man." She rolled her eyes and walked out of the room. And I went to work. The sharing room was filled with old banker boxes like this. I reached in, grabbed some old papers, and prepared to throw things away. Oh, the invitation list for our wedding. 300 people. We got engaged in October, married just 4 months later in February. We couldn't wait to get married, and we didn't want that incredible party to end. In fact, we were among the very last to leave. Everyone had taken off all their uncomfortable shoes, and we danced around them all night long. My life looked so beautiful. Well, it's just a little paper. It doesn't take up much space. Old greeting card. To Peggy from me. "You promised to love me for better, for worse. Yesterday was worse. Thank you for keeping your promise. Sorry I was such a schmuck." You know, there's no date on this card. Time Magazine, September 11th. A day we all shared. Cross stitch, never started. "Peggy, now that you have a baby, you'll have more time for projects like this." Don't you? More time. That's hysterical. Trash. Now we're getting somewhere. I know we have this. It's a program at my grandfather's funeral. Gramps was an amazing guy. In the 20s, he was a Golden Gloves boxer. He spent the Depression hopping on and off of boxcars looking for work. He went on to have a successful career at NCR Corporation, designing some of the very first computers. He died on the dance floor at my cousin's wedding, at the age of 88. Not a bad way to go out. Song in your heart, bounce in your step, surrounded by people who love you. I miss him. Peggy walked back into the room. "How is it going, oh Oracle of Organization?" "You know, there's some really great stuff in here. We can just put it in the trash." She rolled her eyes and walked out of the room. From the hallway, she yelled, "And don't throw away that cross stitch. I'm going to do that someday." I sat there convinced that, other than the cross stitch, these were among our most valuable possessions. There was a popular catchphrase 20 years ago about thinking outside the box. Jamie, you need to think more outside the box. Maybe we had it wrong. Maybe we should be thinking inside the box. There isn't much that we have that won't eventually break, get lost, go out of style. So what do we truly own? Peggy and I decided that these boxes were important. If you walked into the sharing room today, you would find our most valuable assets properly archived on the wall-to-wall shelving that we installed. That's a family project. And just recently, I found my 15-year-old daughter, Maggie, going through this very box. With a wedding invitation list in hand, she asked me questions like, why were you only engaged for 4 months? What was your first dance? Did you cry? I told her the story of how I sang my proposal in a room full of people I just met. Do you love me? And how her mother was so embarrassed that I was singing publicly, she didn't answer me for 10 minutes. Maggie and I talked. We talked in a way that middle-aged dads and teenage daughters don't talk often enough. Somewhere in your house, there's a box, or a bag, or a bin filled with your most valuable assets. Open it up. Share the stories with someone you love. Discover the magic of thinking inside the box. Mr. Toastmaster.